So what is your top seller currently?
It would be a final wishes planner, because for those that pass away, like they want to make sure that before they do, they have their final wishes in place, because it's really hard on their family if your final wishes aren't taken care of before, and their family has to like wonder about what you might want. So this makes it easy. So that's my top selling product, and it does very well. I get multiple sales every day, my Etsy store. And in my Shopify store, that's a different store, I sell this home organizational planner, and that's a really top selling product too that I get from the people coming to my blog.
Well, hi there, and welcome to Side Hustle Hero, the show that is laser focused on inspiring you to start or to scale your side hustle income stream. I'm your host, Joan Posivy. Becky Beach's side hustle journey started by selling a single printable on Etsy and has grown into a 7-figure business with over 15 revenue streams. Today, we're drilling down on her printables business that by itself earns her 6 figures a year. She takes us inside the journey of how she scaled from zero to consistent daily sales and the strategies that help her stand out in a crowded marketplace. You'll learn which platforms that she uses to spot what's trending, how to get noticed on Etsy, how to drive traffic to your Shopify store, and some vital do's and don'ts about working with Canva templates. And seriously, at times I've wondered, do people really buy digital downloads like planners, checklists, journals? Turns out they do, a lot of them. And more importantly, here's how you can turn them into a profitable side hustle through my conversation with 6-figure printables selling expert, Becky Beach.
Oh, hey, I'm really excited to be here, Joan.
It appears there are literally millions of printables offered for sale today on Etsy alone. With that much competition, Becky, how is it even possible for someone new to this, starting out today, to be successful selling printables?
It's really what you put into it. If you have really good SEO, like what I do is look at my competitors and see what keywords they have in their titles and descriptions. I will increase the page count of my own printables because I do the skyscraper technique. And I also would do that when I posted blog content with SEO. I would give my own content more word count than my competitors. So I do kind of the same with my Etsy printables. I'll increase the page count and make it more valuable and have a better layout and design than my competitors. And that's what sets my own printables apart.
The skyscraper? What is that?
Oh, yeah. It's when you amplify your own product based off your competitor's product and you make your own a lot better. And you also will look at the reviews of theirs, and I'll see anything negative. If they did something that their customers didn't like, I'll make sure not to have that. And if any of the customers said something nice about theirs, like some kind of feature, I'll make sure to include that in my own too. It's always good to look at reviews of your competitors to get feedback like that.
Oh, okay. So that's one of your major tips then for somebody starting out today is basically what you're doing is taking a look at your competition in that area, seeing what they're doing right and seeing what you can improve essentially.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, if I felt like, hey, this is for me, I like being creative. I like the flexibility of hours that this gives me, and I can do it from everywhere. Walk us through the steps. Where would I even start? What's my first step?
First of all, you need to register your LLC and then also get a business bank account. That'd be the number one thing to do. Because when I got started first, I was combining a lot of my personal income with my business income. And that was a big headache when it came around to tax time. So first, if you're really serious about this, get your LLC established, or you can do a sole proprietorship.
So for the LLC in the United States, that's essentially the corporation. So your key point there then like is make sure that you are separating business from personal.
Oh, yeah, the number one step. And the second one, just make a printable. It can be anything. It could be a tracker, a checklist, like something simple, like just start off with one page. And Christmas, will be here before we know it. So a product that I had made was a Santa list, a Dear Santa list for kids. That was very cute. And I decorated it in Canva because Canva.com is free to use. It's like a free graphics program.
Okay.
And you can save it as a PDF and then sell your printable on Etsy.
Okay. So that Christmas one that you just referred to, that would be something that the parent or adult would print out and walk through with the child to fill out?
Yeah, it's a Dear Santa list, and they put their name, and it's really cute. And then it's a letter that they're supposedly sending to Santa.
Okay. All right. But in choosing a product, I just can't pick anything that I like. It's got to be something in demand.
Oh, yeah, yes, of course. But like quick win trackers do very well, like checklists, like bucket lists,
Okay.
even theme park. A lot of people are planning Disney vacations in the summer. So maybe a theme park checklist of things to bring for the theme park. Because Florida, like we actually went and it was like really hot and humid and we didn't bring as much stuff. And I just wish I would have gotten like a checklist to know what to take and ahead of time because it's like really hot and humid there.
And people will actually pay for that because wouldn't they just Google that? What should I bring to Disney World?
They could, but a lot of people just want something quick they can print out and because they don't have the time to just sit there and look through all the sites. Like people don't have the time. Like you're making people's time a lot easier because you're giving them a quick printout product that they could print out easily on their printer. And then they could see what to do and follow a guide. So that's why these printables are so popular, especially like planners and journals. And I sell those and also will sell guides, like educational guides. And I sell like just checklists too and bucket lists because a lot of people have a bucket list they want to fill out. And these products are more popular than someone would think.
So what is your top seller currently?
Oh, it would be a final wishes planner because for those that pass away, like they want to make sure that before they do, they have their final wishes in place because it's really hard on their family if your final wishes aren't taken care of before and their family has to like wonder about what you might want. So this makes it easy. So that's my top selling product, this final wishes planner. And it does very well. I get multiple sales every day, my Etsy store. And in my Shopify store, that's a different store, I sell this home organizational planner. And that's a really top selling product too that I get from the people coming to my blog.
You called it Last Wishes? Is that?
Yes, like a final wishes.
Yeah, final wishes.
Like
that was it. Yeah.
Or they call it Swan Song. There's like different titles for that for you to plan like what happens when you die, like what you want your wishes to be like. And you should also include a will in there too. And people will print this out and punch holes in it and put in a 3-ring binder and they'll put their will in there and like all their important stuff for their family for when they pass away.
Right.
And it's just something that you don't really think about, but it just has peace of mind if you can get this done. Because I actually did one myself and I put in all my businesses for my family so they know how to access my money. There's even pages for like bank account passwords in there and just stuff like that.
Great. And having gone through that with my parents, because they're both deceased now, having everything in one place and having those conversations is so important. And I wouldn't have thought about that as a printable, but the other value that I see in that is there could be a son or daughter that needs to have those conversations with their elderly parent, but don't know how to go about it. So this way they can refer to the planner. It's not really coming from me. It's this planner that I'm working through because I want to make sure that I've got everything covered for you. And it might open up the conversation. Very interesting. Well, let's use an example of one that would be generic enough for most people. What do you think that would be? A road trip one, or what's another example we should walk through?
Yeah, a road trip would be fun, like maybe a road trip planner. And you could use ChatGPT to help you come up with what is on each page. And you can even have it create like a basic table layout for you too. So you know what to do. Because you can make tables in Canva or even PowerPoint. Like I use both to make printables, PowerPoint and Canva.
Okay.
And you can make tables in both of them. And you can put tables on your planner for information people can fill out with columns and like rows. And you could have a road trip plan. Like that'd be a really popular product idea, actually. Like I would have to look at my Etsy research tool to see the demand, about, I don't have it up right now, but you should always make sure there's demand for the product. And a really good Etsy research tool to use is called eRank. And it's very inexpensive.
Okay. So that's something that's available within the Etsy platform?
Oh, no, it's outside. It's called erank.com, and then rank. And that helps you see what's currently trending on Etsy and what popular products are out there and what's currently selling. You can also look at your competitor's store to see what their top product is, and it gives you all that data.
Okay, but if I'm starting from scratch, I don't know who my competitor would be. So if I'm thinking about, okay, I love to road trip and have some personal knowledge on it, if that's something that I wanted to pursue, so you're suggesting eRank to give me the inside scoop on what's happening, the popularity of that with Etsy. Is there other types of research that you do before going ahead with an idea?
Well, also, we'll use this tool called Sales Samurai, and it incorporates Google Trends data as well as Etsy, and it just brings them both together. And I like to use that because it's like a cleaner interface because eRank just has so much information, and I just think that's a cleaner interface. So I'll use that too. If I don't get it, if I'm confused by the data I pull from eRank, I'll pull up Sales Samurai. Like I pay for both of them, and it just helps me see Google Trends data, like what's currently trending on Google searches, what has high demand right now.
Great.
And yeah, there's a lot of trending things out there, and you could create your product based around that.
Is there free versions of both those programs, the eRank and the Sales Samurai, or no?
Yeah, I think maybe eRank has like a free version. It's been a while, but Sales Samurai is very inexpensive too. And I'm also an affiliate, so if anyone buys it, they can use PLR Beach to save $2 a month.
Oh, okay. And what is the cost of it?
Oh, it's $10 a month, $9.99, or you can pay yearly for $9.99 yearly.
Okay.
And save 2 months.
So what would I be looking for on those tools to help me decide whether a road trip planner would be a good idea or not?
It would show you the monthly search volume. So you just go up and search, road trip planner, and then it would show you the monthly searches that it's getting on Etsy. And then it will also show you the number of competitors. Like, it's very important to keep that in account, because if there's more competitors than there is the search volume, like way more, then that might not be a good product to pursue. You want to make sure there's high demand, low competition, because that equals money. So if there's, say, for instance, it's getting 20,000 searches a month, I'm not certain it is, but let's say it is, and then you see the competitors are like 300,000 competitors all selling it, then that's something you don't want to sell.
Okay, got it. How much are you selling in printables these days, on average?
What I currently sell, it just depends. Like, I'll run sales, I run ads to my store. I basically price it like $1.27 for a certain number of page counts. It just depends on the page count of printable. Like, the lowest price item I have is like $1.27, because Etsy will take a percent, like, fees from your sale. So you won't get all that $1.27.
Right.
Like, Etsy's going to take some of the fees, and plus you'll get like PayPal fees and Stripe fees too. So it's like, that could happen as well. So like, I just tend to price around that. And the highest price products, I'll price like 27, 37. Like, that's probably the highest I'll price.
Okay. And do you know what percentage Etsy's taking?
Oh, it takes about 20 cents an item. It just varies.
Okay. And then a percentage of the sales?
Yeah, it says transaction fee, 6.5% of the total order amount. Payment processing fees could be 3% plus 25 cents a transaction. And then the listing fee is 20 cents, because if your product doesn't sell, they're going to charge you 20 cents a month for your listing.
Okay. So that's per month. That's just not a one-time fee.
Oh, yeah. Yes. They'll continually charging you listing fees if nothing sells in your store. So you want to make sure that's why it's really good to do market research to see if what things are selling, because otherwise you're going to have to pay 20 cents to them.
So what would your revenues be just for printables then?
Oh, it'd be like over 100,000 a year.
Okay.
Like, 1 month I was able to get, like, when I first started my home binder, I made like about 10,000 a month just from that one printable. So we could make quite a bit of money. And the highest I've seen my store make was 18,000 back in March.
Nice.
That was for my Shopify store, and my Etsy store did about 500 or more in sales.
Okay. And it was the kind of that Final Wishes binder that was driving that?
Oh, yes. The Final Wishes gets like a tremendous amount of sales. It's equated for most of the sales in my store, actually. It does very well. It's just something you don't really think about. It has very low competition. Like, not many people are selling it. Mm-hmm. And another good idea that I'm like working on is a funeral planner. I know that may sound morbid, but a lot of people are looking for low-cost ways to plan a funeral.
Yes. And it's a fact of life for all of us. So
yes,
that's a built-in market. Yeah. So through the market research that we do, if we decide that the road trip planner, maybe I've got a shot on it, then where do I go from there?
First of all, you probably should go on to ChatGPT and just ask it, like, what would be on each page of this planner, just to get like a layout, like a rough idea of what you need to do for each page. Okay. And then it will tell you what you need to include. And then you can also look at other competitors and what they have included on theirs. And you may even want to purchase a few competitors' products just to see what all they're doing on their planner. But of course, don't copy their layout. You can just look
No.
to see what they have. And a lot of times I'll just look to see what all they have, and I'll include other stuff that other people have and Frankenstein it together, and plus with my own ideas. I have a sketchbook, so I'll sketch out layouts based on what ChatGPT has told me. Because, I majored in graphic design.
Nice.
So I have a really good sketch ability. And that's what I was doing for a living, like development and design, before I got started doing this full time.
And how, I guess, accurate or useful have you found ChatGPT for giving you suggestions on what the planners or printables in general, what the content should be?
Oh, well, it's very helpful. Yeah, you should also think of your own ideas. Like maybe you've been on a road trip. Like what would you have liked to have had before you went on it? What kind of planning do you wish you had done? Think of that and just do some brainstorming. And ChatGPT is just a tool that helps you think of ideas. I wouldn't use it to think of all the ideas. You still have to think yourself.
Yes.
It's just like a tool, like an extension of your own creativity.
Okay. And then you dive into a platform like Canva?
Yeah, you could go into Canva. Like what I've been having ChatGPT do is, this may sound like over the heads of some people that aren't technical. I'll tell ChatGPT to give me a layout of my printable, like a basic idea of the layout, and I'll tell it to access the Python libraries to draw on the Python canvas, because Python is the scripting language that ChatGPT uses. That's what it's programmed on. And it will draw on a canvas in Python, a layout for you. And then it will export it out as a PDF. And you can bring that PDF into Canva, and it's editable as editable text. And you can move it around and add graphics to it. It makes it so much faster. A lot of people don't know this.
No, I have not heard that before. Wow. And like you said, and if somebody doesn't want to go that deep into ChatGPT, then they can take that content, bring it over to Canva and use.
Yeah, and they can just make it out. They can just make the tables themselves if they don't want to build them themselves, because ChatGPT will build the tables for you on the canvas, because Canvas is like a scripting language. It's like it will draw kind of like a person would draw on a canvas. So the code will draw on the canvas and make tables for you, and then it will output it as a PDF. But you need to have Canva Plus, maybe not Canva Plus, but ChatGPT Plus, and that's $20 a month in order to get this feature.
Okay, and then over at something like Canva, you've got all those templates to choose from to make the design pretty easy.
Yeah, so I'll be careful using those, because you need to change them. Like you have to change them around. You can't just sell them as is.
Yes.
Because otherwise there could be a problem, because there might be duplicate content. Like somebody else could be selling that template as is. And then there could be a problem, like as Etsy, like someone could report your product and say that it's a copy, even though you're using a template on a Canva. So I'll just be very careful about that, and to customize it, to make it your own. And I have a lot of Canva customization tutorials on my YouTube channel. If you search PLR Beach and Crafty Becky tutorials, you can bring up my free YouTube channel to learn how to make printables with AI and Canva.
Nice. And I'll make sure to drop that link in the show notes as well. So I've determined that the road trip planner has a shot at success, done the research, gone into ChatGPT, combined that with my own experience and what I want to see in there for content. And now I've created the actual printable. Now where do I go from there?
Then you would need to put it on your store, because you cannot open a store on Etsy unless you have a product. So now that you have a product, then you should get it ready for listing. So you should go into Canva and make a mock-up of your listing of your product. So you would save each page of your PDF as a JPEG.
Okay.
So you could bring it into, you could make screenshots of each page if you want, or you could go into Adobe Acrobat and save it as a JPEG. So it will save each page as a JPEG. That's another way. And there's multiple ways you could save JPEGs of your PDF. So that way you don't need to have every single page in the layout of the mockup. So a mockup is just a layout of the pages, and it looks nice. It just shows what basically you have for sale. And you can have up to 10 pictures on Etsy, and they're 2,000 by 2,000 pixels.
Okay.
So you could make mock-ups and show for each picture I show, it will be a different feature of the planner. Like let's say your road trip planner has a 12-month calendar. So that'd be one picture to show that there's a 12-month calendar. Maybe put January to December, just those two pages. Say, oh, you got a 12-month calendar. That could be one layout. And that's one picture. And then you could have like the main picture would be just the best pages of your planner, the ones that left the best detail and look the best.
Right.
And put that under the cover so it's laid out, fanned out, just to look nice and get attention. And then I'll put like a box at the top and stretch it out and put text inside the box and say what it is. And I'll make sure to put my store on each of the pages because somebody could steal your mock-up. So I make sure to put my store link on there to avoid that trouble.
Okay. And you could certainly turn to top sellers in that genre, in that area, to look for best practices as well, as far as layout.
Oh, yes. You could look at other competitors and see what they're doing with their layouts. And you could kind of mimic what they're doing, just see, oh, maybe I could try that. Maybe I can try this, just to get some ideas of how your mock-up could look. And there's a lot of really pretty mock-up ideas on there. And you could even just go into Canva and just put your pages and just do however you want to make it look appropriate. And you can even put your store logo or just your store link on there. And so that's what you would need to do first, and just try to do as many pages as you really can, pictures as you can for the 10 image allotment, because the more image you have, it's just better for your listing, to more likely it'll get sales if there's like a lot of images on your listing. So that from there, you need to have a keyword rich title. So, look at your competitors and see what keywords they have in their Etsy listing, like ones that are similar to your road trip planner. And you may want to include those keywords and make a nice name for your road trip planner as well, like something, that's different, kind of snappy.
Mm-hmm.
You can even ask ChatGPT for ideas on titles. You can prompt it to say, give me 20, and then make sure you put click-worthy or emotion-driven titles for my road trip planner.
Okay.
And then it will give you all these title ideas, and you can pick which one you like the best.
And at this point, my costs are pretty low, almost nothing, depending if I wanted to use the cheaper versions or not at this point.
Yeah, there's a free Canva version. There's a free ChatGPT version. Like Etsy, I believe now they do charge you, like they charge you the 20 cents a listing. And to open your store, I think last time I heard they were going to charge $15 to open your store.
Okay. All right. And how about Shopify?
Shopify, well, that's $29 a month for the lowest plan. But I pay yearly on everything, all my software, because you just get extra months for free and it's a lot less expensive. And I just like to pay yearly for things. So in my Shopify store, that's about much I pay. And it's really good. I'm thinking of upgrading to the higher plan.
Okay, so you don't even have the top tier plan at this moment.
No, I don't. I have the lowest Shopify plan.
Okay.
And I just like having my own store, because on Etsy, there's an issue. On your Etsy listing, it will show other people's similar products on your Etsy listing. So somebody could come to your listing and then they'll end up buying somebody else's product and you won't get a sale. Like even if you run ads. So like when I run ads to my Etsy listing, that could happen. And I've also had it notify me that people running ads have brought my product traffic because people decide to buy my product from somebody else's listing they're running an ad to. So that could happen, but there are settings you could turn off that on your Etsy listing, and that way it won't show other people's products. Only your products won't show on other people's too. So it's kind of like, I don't know, like I think it's okay to have, because then that way yours will be on someone else's, so you'll get traffic from somebody else's listing. So that's why I like to have a Shopify store, because only my stuff is in the store. Yes. So when someone comes to my store, they're only seeing my stuff. They can only give me their money.
Right.
So on Etsy, they could give everybody and their brother their money on there.
And through the Shopify store, you also have that person's contact information, correct? Whereas Etsy lists.
Yes, and they're added to my email list. Like on Etsy, it could be tricky to get someone onto your email list. Yes. What I'll do is offer a freebie. When they get their printable, I'll say, get this free by signing up to my email list, and I'll give a link. And also we'll put a QR code for them to easily access the link to get onto my subscription. And they'll get a freebie sent to their email. And that's how I can get their email from the Etsy store.
Okay. And are you generally making more? Are you keeping more of that gross sale price through Shopify than you are Etsy?
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah, that's why I was saying I'll make $18,000 from my Shopify store, but only a couple hundred. The most I ever made in a month from my Etsy was like about a little over $500. It's just because on my Shopify, I just can make so much more money because people could see my products. And what I do in the back end is I have it connected to my email list on ConvertKit, but it's now called kit.com. And then what I'll do is I'll make emails, and when they buy one product, it will try to sell them on another product.
Okay.
And that's what I do to get even more sales.
So for someone starting out today, would you recommend that they start off with Etsy because of the low cost until they make sure everything's running smoothly before jumping into Shopify or not? What's your recommendation there?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I tell my clients to do that, to get started with an Etsy. There's another platform called PayHip. And PayHip was a standalone store, but there's also a marketplace, and they don't show other people's stuff on your store. So PayHip is a free option as well, and it's 100% free. Only they'll take 5% of your transaction fee. So I'll tell them to either use Etsy or PayHip. And I just got done with a Printables challenge called the Printables Power Up Challenge. And my clients, they listed to both Etsy and PayHip, and I'm going to promote their products to my email list tomorrow as a reward for completing the challenge.
Okay, nice. And for those listeners, viewers who aren't familiar with Shopify, to the consumer, it looks like it's your own store, but it's Shopify that's running the whole thing behind the scenes.
Yeah, yes, that's true. Yeah.
So I've got this awesome road trip planner complete now. How are people going to find me? How do you do it?
After you get the mock-ups in your store, you got the keyword-rich title, and you write the sales copy, the listing copy. You can have ChatGPT help you with it. What I would do is tell it what's on each page of your road trip planner, like what each title of the planner has. You can upload the PDF to ChatGPT, and it will look at it and write copy based on what it sees.
Yes.
Your PDF, like that's a good idea. And then from there, you can have it craft you some persuasive copy. And then you could take that copy, make sure it's all right, make sure it actually has what it says it has, because sometimes it will hallucinate and and put in the copy that it doesn't have it. And that could be a problem because your customer could get the product and go, oh, it doesn't have such and such, even though it says it does. So just make sure everything's true. And then once you've proofread, don't just slap it up.
Right.
Make sure you proofread it and then put it up there. And you could add stuff however you want, make it look nicer and do the formatting. And then you would upload your PDF to the digital download. Make sure you select digital download. Yeah, I've done it so many times I can see the process in my head.
I bet. And Becky, I'm shocked at the number of times I see, like, clearly people who have uploaded content have not done the proofreading, just really basic stuff. So that needs to be said, that you need to proofread whatever it is that you're uploading. But with all the competition out there, how are people going to find mine? Am I relying on keywords, or do I do paid ads? How do I drive traffic?
I do both because it's very cheap to run the ads. It's like you can do it as low as $3 a day. And Etsy will just send traffic to all of your listings. Like I have over 70 listings in my store right now. And it will send traffic to all of them. And then it will boost my listing, so it will be at the top of the results when someone searches for that keyword. They'll see my product in the first 2 rows or something, depending on if someone else is paying like $20 a day, like theirs would be higher, of course. Okay. But I pay about $3 to $5 a day when I have a sale. It's only when I run a sale I'll do that. And I just got done running a sale. And you can't run too many sales. Like I try not to do one constantly because you can't just run a constant sale.
Okay.
So I'm waiting until the middle of the month before running another sale on there and then running ads again.
Okay. And how do you drive traffic to your Shopify store?
I do blog content, like I do content marketing. Say, for instance, like I'm trying to target a mom on a budget. So I would have like a budgeting article on saving money. Like my top budgeting article is a budget by paycheck plan. Okay. And this budget by paycheck plan like has a post all about it. And then inside the post, they can get a budget planner freebie to sign up for. And then when they sign up to this budget planner freebie, it's like a small planner. Yes. Then they get the option of purchasing a bigger planner with more pages and also a spreadsheet, a budgeting spreadsheet. So they could purchase that for like $17 or $17. Okay. And I'll get a lot of sales because they'll sign up for the free product and then they're prompted to purchase the paid product. And then I can make a lot of money from that. I call it a sales funnel.
Yes. So that's your current best strategy for growth?
Yes, that's how I'll get a lot of sales and subscribers because I currently have over 170,000 subscribers on that list. Yeah, yes, I've been doing this like 10 years. So I just want to keep this in mind for people listening. That does take time to grow. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
How long would you recommend that somebody stick with this before they see success?
I'll tell you a little bit about me. Like I was going to quit my first year because I
Wow.
wasn't seeing any money results. And
Okay.
I just kept going. And then eventually, like after the 15th month I was doing this, I started making sales, like making really good, like $1,000. And it just blossomed into 5,000 and then 10,000. It just kept going up the more work I put into it because you get what you put in. If you're just thinking this, you're just going to do like a half-butted way to do it. That's not going to work. You have to get everything in. You have to put everything in and make the time, make it a priority. And don't just like say, I'll just do it when I feel like it. I'll just do it when I feel like it. No, that's not going to give you results. You got to do it like certain time, a certain amount of time each day. Like you just can't have any 0 days. Like every day, you got to put something towards your goal.
And so it was like months, close to a year before you started to see sales?
The first year when I was first blogging, like I wasn't making much money on the blog income. But then when I started the store, that's when I started seeing more results because I was selling the products to my email list because I was blogging and I was getting people signing up to my opt-in forms. And I was getting I was email subscribers that way. Then I could sell to them. And that's when I started making the 1,000. And then I just kept put more products in the store. And
Yes.
that was appealing to more people. And then that led to more sales. Now I have almost 200 products in the Shopify store. And a lot of them are kids printables. Like I'll make kids printables and purchase ones called PLR, which means private label rights. And it's commercial use printables that are done for you. So you don't have to make these printables. People will sell commercial use printable templates that
Okay.
you can customize and resell.
And that customization piece would be critical because you don't want to have two people selling the same printable.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Like I actually sell commercial use printables too, like at plrbeach.com. And there's some people that are selling my templates as is on Etsy. If you search Be Kind Planner, like you'll see one of the ones I did, they have like bees on them and they're using the same graphics. Oh, it's called Be Positive Planner, like BEE Positive Planner. If you search that, you'll see like my planner come up.
Yeah.
So that could happen. That's your template. People could just not customize it, but I make sure to tell them you have to customize it because otherwise it could be duplicate content.
Sure. Now, I had read somewhere that you make it a habit of emailing your subscribers every day, even though that generates some unsubscribes.
Yeah, yes, I will email every single day. I only get 3 or 5 people unsubscribing because I'm a very good emailer. I love telling stories about my life, about what's going on. If you like, say for instance, let's say this morning, you got up, had breakfast, you went to the store, you went home. That's an email. You can talk about that. Your email say, oh, I just got up this morning, then I went to the store, and then I saw blah, blah, blah at the store, and you just keep talking. I act like I'm talking to a friend over coffee.
Okay.
When I write my emails, and I just comes naturally, and I'll talk about my life, and I just love to talk, and I just act like they're a friend. I'm getting to know over coffee, and I'll just talk to them in the email. So I'll do it every single day. Like you'll see on my planner, I have every single day that's the email, and I check it off when I write the email. And now I'm running 4 email lists. So there's some lists that I'll email every day. There's some that I'll email 3 times a week. There's some I email 5 times a week.
Okay. And does each one of those, say, when it comes to the printables, you're tying that trip to the store somehow into printables, or no, it's just a story about your day?
Oh, no, I will tie it into a product that I'm selling. Because
Okay.
I'll just say, oh, I saw such, I'm just so good at doing it now because I've had a lot of practice. You have to understand, I've been doing this a very long time. Like I started doing every single day. At first, I was just doing once a week.
Okay.
And that wasn't really driving the needle. I wasn't making as much money, but I find the more I email, the more money I make. Even if I send multiple emails in the day, let's say an offer is going to be ending. I'll say last chance to get such and such, and I'll say last call. And then I'll do 3 emails about trying to get this offer out and sold. And it doesn't matter if someone unsubscribes because they weren't going to buy from you anyway. And you don't want them on your list anyway, because otherwise you got to clean your list off of cold subscribers that didn't open for 90 days. So I'll do that, but I'll do a cold subscriber re-engagement like flow and ConvertKit. You can do one. They have one for you. You could just download. And then you could put them through the sequence that will say, oh, you want to make sure that you're going to open my emails. So at the end of the sequence, they'll give them a freebie if they open the email. So that's what the whole thing is. And if they don't open it still, then they're probably like a dead email or some goofy email that someone like made just to get a freebie and then never signed in again.
Right. Yep. Yep. Okay. So if you're emailing every day and you're saying it's increasing sales, Just give us a broad strokes, the content of the email. It's your very personal story, like you're talking one-on-one. And what else is in there generally?
I'll sell stuff too. Like I also have the one that I email every single day. I've been doing it just nonstop for 5 years. And this is when I made the store has now celebrated its 5th birthday. So I'm having like a 55% off sale in the store. So that's what I've been talking about in the email. And I'll talk about other people's offers because I'm an elite affiliate on Warrior Plus. It's this marketplace for entrepreneurs to buy and sell products, and I'm an elite affiliate. So I will promote Warrior Plus products in my email, promote my affiliate partners' products in there. So there's like lots of stuff I'm promoting in this one email. So it's like a big shopping mall in one email that people could look through and just see what they want to buy. And every time they buy something, I'll get credit for the sale because it's an affiliate link.
Okay. So as inspiration, 2 things. Number one, and I'm sure you'd agree, as you've been describing these things, you started out small and over the years it's built. This did not happen for you overnight. That's
no way. Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither was this printable empire.
And speaking of the empire, so we're talking printables around that over $100,000 mark. But in terms of your sources of income, those are pushing 7 figures now, aren't they? Talk to us very briefly about how, like where that started. So it was a blog and how things added on to the number of income sources that you got today.
Oh, sure. Well, I started the blog when I was pregnant with my son, Brian. And at first I was just promoting affiliate offers like Survey Junkie. They would pay you $1.50 every time somebody signed up. And it was very easy to convert people to that. So that was my first money that I ever got from my blog was Survey Junkie. And then my friends and family were laughing about that. Oh, you just made $1.50 in a month. But then I started selling my own products. And that's where the money was really coming in because now I could get 100% of the sale instead of just $1.50 from somebody signing up. Right. I get 100% from my product. And that's when I started really making good money. I was making like $1,000 like when I had my store. And I was promoting it to the email subscribers that I had gotten over the like 15 months. Like I started promoting it then. Okay. And getting $1,000 and then it would grow. And then people were asking me, hey, could I make printables too and sell them on my blog? Like a lot of people asking that. So at first I was like, oh, I don't want for people to take my printables and resell them. I don't like that. But then I heard about PLR, which is private label rights, commercial use, white labeled printables that people could make and resell their templates in PowerPoint and Canva. And then I said, well, I could do that. So then I made a whole new store because I didn't want people to be confused by my Mom Beach brand because that's only personal use things. So I made the new store, PLR Beach, and that's only commercial use. And also we'll link that from my blog. So in case someone comes to my blog and they want to sell printables themselves and buy commercial use printables, they could click there and go to that store. And suddenly I had a whole new clientele of business owners. I never dealt with business owners. I was just dealing with customers like moms wanting how to save money or how to do self-care. But now I was talking to business owners with this new shop. And then like people wanting to know, like, how'd you do in this blog? How are you doing this printable store? So everybody was wanting to know that. So then I decided to make a coaching business. So it's just,
of course you did.
Just from just people wanting help. I'm answering people's pain points throughout my journey of an online business owner. Now I help business owners make their own businesses, their own printables businesses. I have a membership. It's been going on like about 5 years now. And it's just blossomed in this huge business. And I got like over 15 revenue streams. I started selling Amazon books, like publishing, like also helping others self-publish. Like I do a lot, like a wide variety of things.
Congratulations on all that. And again,
thank you.
I emphasize the persistence piece that you didn't buy this quote unquote empire. You didn't build it overnight. It's been years. And it'll be interesting to see what you've added in the coming 5 years.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
So, Becky, are you running this empire yourself or you got a little help out there?
Pretty much. I do have one full-time VA that helps me list products and helps me come up with like ideas and printables and stuff like that. And she also will help get the mock-ups done. So I do have one full-time VA helping.
Right. And how long have you had that support?
She's been employed by me for 7 years on a project basis, but she was recently hired on full-time like 2 years ago.
Nice. You mentioned that you love stories. Do you have a favorite printables story?
Oh, sure. Yeah. This one story that this lady didn't understand that my printable was instantly downloadable. Because in my store, I give instantly downloadable PDFs. So it's kind
Okay.
of a funny story. Like this lady bought something, and 3 months later, I get an email from her, and she goes, "Hey, I didn't get my planner sent to my house yet."
Oh,
And I go,
no.
"Oh, it's an instantly downloadable digital product. Nothing will be shipped." She goes, "Oh, I thought I was going to get a printed planner sent to my house." And I go, "No, it was instantly downloadable type of printer." She goes, "But I don't have a printer." Like this was over emails, like we were talking back and forth. And she goes,
Yes.
"I don't have a printer." And I said, "Well, you can go to a print shop like at Office Depot or Office Max. I don't even know if they have, I think Office Depot bought Office Max, but anyway." And she says, "I don't have that near my house. I don't have anything near me. So I need a refund." And then she did a PayPal dispute. Before I could respond, there was a PayPal dispute for this like
Oh,
$7 printable. And I was like, oh my goodness, because that's bad for your PayPal. That could really harm your PayPal standing if someone's doing these disputes. And that was the first dispute I had. So I was really scared.
hmm.
Like I was afraid I'll lose my PayPal. So immediately I refunded her and then it was over with. And then I blocked her from my store so she couldn't buy anything else.
Right. Wise choice. Not being in the printables business myself, I wanted to ask you if there's something else that you wanted to share that you felt would be helpful to somebody wanting to get into this business that we haven't covered yet.
Well, it had to be the drive to succeed,
Okay.
and not giving up. Because, like I said, I was going to give up my first year of doing this online business. At the time, I had a very good career. It was stressful, though, as like a web developer, designer, UX designer, and graphic designer. I was just really miserable doing my job. So that's what drove me. I said, there has to be a better way. I don't want to work
Mm,
9 to 5 anymore. So I was doing this as a side hustle until 5 years ago. You have to understand that because 5 years ago I was working 9 to 5 and growing this on the side. So I've
okay.
been doing this business like 10 years for about 5 years on the side and then 5 years full time.
Okay. And what caused you to say, you know what? I'm going to dive into this full time.
Well, it's because I was making 20,000 a month from the
Whoa.
business. And that was a lot more than my job because after taxes, I'll probably bring in home like 5,000 a month from my 9 to 5 job. And I was like, God, I could support my whole family with this 20,000. Even my husband could quit his job. Like we could live pretty large on this 20,000 a month.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the best way for our listeners to connect with you, Becky?
Oh, sure. We could head over to my website, coachbeckybeach.com. I also have a freebie. If you go to coachbeckybeach.com/hustle25, that's coachbeckybeach/hustle25, you can get a free training on how to make printables with AI. It will teach you how
Ooh.
to make up to 4 different templates you could sell on Etsy, like products like stickers, how to make clip art, how to make workbooks, all with AI. It's free.
Oh, fun. I'll definitely drop those links in the show notes. Thanks for that. So, what's your best tip to inspire others to start or grow their side hustle dream?
Number one, like just don't give up. If you really want to do this, think of your why. Like my why is my son Brian. He's like behind me on the wall right there. He's
Eh,
my sweet little, like I love him so much.
aw,
He's now 9 years old, and he's the reason why I even got started doing this business because I just wanted more time with him. I was having to work 60-hour weeks. So you got to think of a why first and foremost, and that really drive you to success. And then put a picture of your why on your computer and put it where on your mirror, on your upstairs in your room, or just like where you could see it, so you can see your why, and that will drive you and motivate you to do your business and to make time for it a priority. If you want this bad enough, you can get it. Like anybody can do it.
yeah, and gives you so much flexibility. The other value that I find of having those photos of your why around is in
Mhm.
particular on those days where you're just dragging your butt. It's been a long shift at work and the alarm wakes up the next morning because you're a morning person and that's when you're doing your side hustle time. And rather than hit snooze again, you're reminded of that why. Similarly, you come home and that why is somewhere where you see it. Thank you so
Mhm.
much, Becky, for your expert guidance in how to set up a printable side hustle and your tips for making it a success. And of course, for being today's side hustle hero.
Oh, awesome. Thanks so much.
People like Becky really inspire us to see what's possible. But please, please, please do your best not to get overwhelmed by learning that she now has 15 income streams. Don't compare your results to hers. I remember making that mistake, doing exactly that with a mentor of mine, Bob Proctor. He was a pioneer in the personal development movement, And many years ago, he invited me to share the platform with him and present a series of seminars for his client, Malaysian Airlines, over in Kuala Lumpur. Obviously, I was thrilled. But after the first day, I was beating myself up for what I thought was a subpar performance. When he noticed this, he asked me, "Well, how did you want to do it?" And I said, "Like you." He said, "How long have you been speaking and giving presentations, Joan?" I answered truthfully, "About 6 months." Then he asked, "And how long have I been doing it?" Sheepishly, I replied, 30 years. And his response was, not surprisingly, "So what did you expect? Give yourself a break. You take things far too seriously." And he was right, I did. In my defense, I was in my early 30s, standing on stage with my mentor in the back of the room, watching and listening. So yeah, I was more than a little intimidated that day. And that's exactly the point here. Becky may have built 15 income streams, but it's over the years. And your job isn't to compare your results to hers. It's to be inspired by them and then to focus on creating your first. Get that one working, learning along the way, and the rest will follow in time. And heads up, it'll likely take longer than you think. There's a learning curve with anything new, but if you approach it with curiosity and even a sense of fun, you'll not only make progress, you'll enjoy the process. Well, that's a wrap for today. If our chats are sparking your entrepreneurial spirit and providing valuable insights, consider showing your support by visiting sidehustlehero.com/support. That's where you can shoot me a virtual coffee. It's a real thing and a fun way to give the show a caffeinated thumbs up. Thank you so much. In the episode description, you'll find links to connect with Becky, the websites that she shared, as well as the full show notes, which live at our website, sidehustlehero.com. While there, be sure and grab a copy of my 28-page guide called Smart Start, From Idea to It's Live in 7 Steps. It walks you through the core things to focus on, including a checklist of essentials that you need to do to launch. It's free for now, but not forever, at sidehustlehero.com. If you're enjoying what you're seeing in this podcast, it would be so appreciated if you would take a moment and add your comment, share the episode with a friend who's looking for their own 6-figure side hustle, and please subscribe. It'll let others know that there's valuable content here to help them start and grow their side hustle. Thanks for watching, and hustle on.